Consent to the mind virus ends now.
The sky turns green, the sirens wail, and somewhere in a bunker, a government meteorologist smiles. You're not watching the weather, you're watching a production. The movie Twisters promised chaos with a soundtrack, flying cows, fearless chasers, and nature framed like a blockbuster. But the real twist? The storms came after the movie. They say it's just coincidence. We say it's narrative priming. And right at the center of it all, NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Sounds biblical, doesn't it? NOAA, Noah, one saves the animals, one tracks the floods, but only one controls the radar. And in both stories, the dove is sent out. In the old myth, it brings peace. In the new one, it brings predictive storm modeling. We built an ark once to survive the wrath of God. Now we build Doppler systems to simulate it. Tornado season has become a ritual. Sirens, alerts, and televised panic. The warning cones are painted like war zones. The news anchors speak in prophecy. And the gods, they don't live on Mount Olympus anymore. They work in climate labs. With names like Cyclone Genesis Initiative and Atmospheric River Steering, the people run for cover. The data gets uploaded.com, and the weather becomes another weapon. In the war for your mind, it's not just about wind, it's about worship. And if you're still chasing the storm, you're already in it. Psyop complete.
They're watching, and if you know, you know. Consent to the mind virus ends now.
The Psyop Entertainment Complex proudly presents Anxietainment, now streaming everywhere, forever. 9 screens, 1 brain, infinite panic. Every alert is breaking, every headline screams, take 2 and tune out. The pills aren't for the pain, they're for the programming. They've turned attention into currency, and fear into loyalty. This isn't the news, it's a loop. Panic, outrage, alert, cut to commercial. You're not watching because you care. You're watching because you can't look away. The goal was never clarity, it was overstimulation. And in this arena, anxiety isn't a side effect, it's the point. The more you feel, the less you think. Welcome to the broadcast. Don't adjust your set, it's working exactly as designed. Psyop complete.
They're watching, and if you know, you know. They warn you in fiction so you'd obey in reality.
They've been warning you for years, not if, when. The quake, the wave, the blast. The grid goes down and the narrative boots up. This is not a drill, they'll say, but it always was. Earthquakes that obey camera angles. Tsunamis with perfect timing. Ash clouds that rise like plot points. You've seen the simulations. You've heard the FEMA scripts. You've watched the trailer. Every hurricane season, this is the big one. Not just geologic, but symbolic. A convergence event. Fire, water, power, panic, dot comma. Volcanoes are ancient symbols of wrath. Floods of cleansing. Blackouts of control. Together they reset the stage. Cities reduced to drone footage. Casualties reported with sponsored low, and the experts always ready. We ran this exact scenario last year. Funny how it all looks rehearsed, because it is. The big one was never about tectonics, it's about timing. And when it hits, the only thing that collapses faster than buildings is consent. Psyop complete.
They're watching, and if you know, you know. They warn you in fiction so you'd obey in reality.
They were the chosen ones. One, the self-declared techno-king of Mars, decked out in Wonka drip and nursing a fresh black eye. The other, the orange oracle of Earth, red tie flapping, face glowing like a sunburned Oompa Loompa. Together, they sold us the future. Hyperloops, moon bases, space hotels, NFT passports, and freedom. Always just around the blockchain. But now, cue dramatic music. The bromance has imploded, tweets deleted, partnerships dissolve, Pope hats askew. The Psyop power couple is no more. And while their cults bicker in the comments, their companies keep syncing your data and syncing each other. Because here's the real trick. The feud is the feature. The narrative is the network. You weren't watching history unfold. You were watching a scripted split on the world's most expensive sound set. So when billionaire A throws shade at billionaire B, just ask yourself, who wrote the script? And why does every scene still lead to the same app store? Breakup, please. It's just a pilot episode of Season 2, Controlled Opposition.
They're watching, and if you know, you know. They warn you in fiction, so you'd obey in reality.
You started asking questions. Then they told you that asking questions was the problem, that being suspicious meant you were sick. So they gave you pills to help you ignore the patterns, but you still see them, don't you? Still feel it, still know. They call it paranoia, but what if it's just pattern recognition with a prescription?
They're watching, and if you know, you know.